Okay, so today I decided to short Mara stock. I'm gonna explain to you guys exactly why I decided to do that using the charts, and we're gonna talk about Bitcoin alongside right after Mara stock as well. So do remember, guys, that please do your own research and due diligence. Just because everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion, and I like to share with you guys what I am doing. So with that being said, just remember, we've been talking about Mara stock for a while, as in me trying to find a good opportunity to short because we are still waiting for this price range to max out a bit more. We've been trading quite a bit, short term support held, and it actually held enough for the price to go up and break this wick, this swing high at just about $22, and it went all the way up to almost $23. It was like, or I think it exactly hit $23. It was like a cent off. But the idea here is that I've been waiting. A lot of these pumps were not able to max out the RSI on the hourly chart, and with that breakout, I was able to add another ascending support line, and I wanted to see, okay, well, what is the likelihood of us just having a corrective move? And this short, I'm only showing it. I'm only gonna be showing it on Discord. So if you're in Discord, you'll know right after this video, I'm gonna post a screenshot of what the position looks like as of market close today. But basically, a quick summary was it's a 2250 strike, just 5 contracts expiring this Friday. But I'm gonna share a screenshot on that tonight on Discord. But the thing is, just based off of this move right here, this move that led towards the breakout, we have some support ranging just about at $21, coming all the way down to 2050, and then the ascending support line is also below that. So it's a possibility we can see this max out, and that's where I plan to get out. Somewhere between 2050 and 21. I'll be closing out that short because we're still moving up. We are in this uptrend. Any weakness, we can find support somewhere within the range I just mentioned, or as long as we hold above this ascending support line. Now, in the bigger picture, I've been keeping track of this for a very long time on this channel, but we have this ascending support line that acted as resistance multiple times, and now it can act as a support as well. So the idea here is that I have no reason to focus too much on macroeconomic events right now or any macro data. It doesn't matter, or even Bitcoin, because I've said many times, Mara stock is not really correlated to Bitcoin. I don't really care what Bitcoin does when it comes to this trade. I'm more focused on, where retracements make sense, where Bitcoin can pull back towards before it can potentially find support. And even though, if you guys been watching for a while, I'm expecting the price to eventually come down and trade within previous accumulation zones. So this range is somewhere between 1484 and 1837. So the idea here is that we could come down, but as long as we're still uptrending and we're not breaking any significant swing lows, we can still max this area out. But with also the understanding that there is a little bit of ascending resistance that we are at right now, and prices weakening at the 1.38 at 22.92, we can just have a corrective move, and that's the idea of this trade. I'm focused on position sizing only 5 contracts. Only 5 contracts. It was like just below $500 overall. But the idea here is that so far as of market close, I think I'm up on the trade like 20%, which is fantastic. But I have no reason to sell yet. And again, SL would just be 25. I don't care if the price rallies. That's why I only bought 5 contracts. But the idea is take profit somewhere between 2050 and 21. So that's what I'm looking for Mara stock right now. I still see more upside. I mean, we're still holding this uptrend, but a retracement looks like it's due, and that's why I'm positioning myself for this. I've been very patient, and on the Discord, like, there's been a lot of questions, and there's a ton of amazing traders and analysts in the Discord as well. But I kept saying as well that I was looking at like anything above like 2050, and then I kept changing where I want to start this short. Thankfully, today we had a nice rally where we actually went up to that 1.38 at basically $23. And at that point, well, the RSI finally maxed out, and pretty good indication for me and an opportunity to actually capture the 2250 strike with it being out of the money at the time for puts. So to me, that looked like a decent deal. So I got in with a small position size just to get some of that short exposure, right? So when it comes to Bitcoin, there's a lot of stuff happening in the macro right now, and it can be influencing Bitcoin quite a bit. But the quick summary, I've been saying this in previous videos as well, is due to this support breaking, the idea here is that I'm looking for a lot of these short-term resistances to continue to hold and potentially lead us down into this short-term purple area, which I did not change the levels. I just moved it to the right. So it starts basically at 107K, and it can come all the way down to 93,000. The idea here is that the two short-term resistances at the moment, and we're still holding like September lows. I mean, we haven't actually created any lower lows, which is quite impressive actually, but that doesn't mean it can't happen. The idea here is position sizing, being patient. So I recently opened it. I showed you guys a screenshot when the day I opened it, like not that long ago, like a couple videos ago. But the idea is I opened 50K with IBIT when we came all the way down to the bottom of this accumulation area is when I began the swing trade. The idea here is that I've said this many times. I like Bitcoin underneath 120 a lot. Underneath 120, I believe it's an amazing deal because we haven't reached our 128K price target, which is based off of this bigger picture bullish, bull market extension area that I've had since like last year. We finally hit the first one at 114.5. Next one will be at 128K. We haven't reached it. We're holding quite low. I mean, we are, I think, discounted in the short term. But the idea here is that the 50K position, I'm holding on to it for us to go up into that take profit area for this short-term trade. And then when it comes to actually what I want to see so I can build this position up properly, would be short-term resistances continue to hold and cause a lower low. So in this case, we're seeing lower highs form. Absolutely fine. We can revisit this price range between 115 to 120K very easily. But the idea is that so far, short-term resistance retracement from every swing high to swing low. We held it quite shallow, but we did held it. We broke into it, found resistance, came down. Another short-term resistance to keep an eye on, not as significant as this one, but we do see the 120 moving average continuing to decrease. And this last move didn't actually max out the RSI, so it's possible we can come up into the descending resistance before we go down lower as well. And then this would also be more significant when it comes to capturing just the current, if I can show you guys here, the current overall retracement overlaps very nicely with this one. So even though it's holding in the short term, we can still potentially fluctuate up here, and there could be some strong resistance here. If we can come down into this purple area starting at 107K, I would like to complement the IBIT position by adding some BitU on the side, because in my opinion, right now Bitcoin is super attractive, but if we can go below 110K and actually break 107K and trade within this range, I would like to be quite aggressive when it comes to accumulating some short-term Bitcoin exposure. So I'll be adding BitU on the side to go along with IBIT. But if I don't get that short-term aggressive buying opportunity down here, at least based just on my own charts, then if Bitcoin rallies, cool, we have the IBIT position to capture some short-term profit. And then if we come up to 128K before actually having the opportunity to capture this short-term deep value opportunity, to buy at very discounted levels before we continue to see the bull market extend a bit more, because I do believe we can extend a bit more, a decent amount more. But when it comes to the actual short term, I would like to accumulate BitU down here. If not, cool, IBIT, it's there and it'll take over. And then if you guys watched that strategy video from like 2 weeks ago, there's explanations on how I manage core positions on the side of short-term positions. So I'm not really too eager to see either way move, but I do want to see a breakout happen sooner rather than later. But regardless, if we come down, I'll have the ideal opportunity for my primary scenario to actually complement IBIT with BitU. But if we just start to see a rally happen, then cool, we have IBIT going. But basically, that's what I'm looking at right now in the short term. I sort of been repeating myself a lot in these previous videos just because we haven't actually seen much movement yet. But I like to remind everyone of what I'm looking for. Reminders are always good, and it kind of keeps you guys aware of at least what I'm looking at. But again, when it comes to Mars stock, I want to see some weakness before we can go up higher, so that's why I opened up those puts with a nice strike price in my opinion. So yeah, if you guys are on this Discord, you'll see updates on that short position. And until then, let's see what Mara stock and Bitcoin does throughout the rest of this trading week. We have 3 more days of trading this week before we enter into, I believe, it's like the third week of October. So yeah, let's see how this unfolds, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.